That's the best Lil Wayne I've heard in over a decade.
Lil Wayne, and I've sent this
over
to the text.
10 years.
Lil Wayne, Cameron, Black Rob. Those three rappers, all at individual points in time, could have been the GOAT. I'm not bullshit. I'm not hyperbole. They could have been the GOAT if they didn't just get out of their own fucking way or focus on what it is they need to do. You got Cameron, who just loses interest. That's why you get a Dipset album where he's saying ooey gooey Louie Chewy on a fucking song. You're like, all right, you just gave up, son. Then you got Wayne, who you can listen to an entire album, and afterwards you'd be like, all right, so what was he saying? I mean, his wordplay was pretty good, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah,
and then
he says ridiculous shit.
Black Rob is one of the greatest storyteller rappers ever. If you've never heard the Black Rob Report, and like there's a song like Long Live BR where the motherfucker tells you an entire story of him being framed for murder. Like, and it's straight fucking bars, but then he couldn't stop robbing old people's purses in hotel lobbies and kept getting fucking arrested. Those three assholes, to me, just frustrate the everlasting shit out of me. I wish they just did better.
There's one guy from Houston that did the same thing. Like, he would go to jail, he would get out, he would drop a sick fire album, then he'd go to jail, and then he'd get out, he'd drop a mixtape.
T.I. was almost on that list for me, because it was like when the album that he released, I forget the name of the album, but it was the one with the Castle Walls with Christina Aguilera, and he has a track on there with Eminem. That's All She Wrote.
Oh,
That's All She Wrote is a top 10 song. And it would have been like on the top of the charts if his dumbass didn't go back to fucking jail over that gun charge that Tiny's fault, but only people in the hood really know what happened.
Oh yeah, didn't his fucking driver rat him out?
T.I. escapes it. T.I. escapes that, man.
You're talking about rappers that frustrate you, right?
Oh, yeah. The guy I was talking about is Zero from he's with Slim Thug.
Do you know who else was frustrating everybody last night?
All right, are you counting us down? You got to count us down
3,
first.
2, 1. My bad.
Welcome to the show.
All right, so yeah, do you know?
Welcome to the show.
Dick.
What?
I cut the arms off a clock. Oh, shit, I forget the line.
What the hell did you just say, Ryan?
Huh? I said tick tick.
Okay.
He said nig nig.
No, he didn't. He said something different, but we'll play that back later. Yeah, welcome back to All Sorts of Sports, episode 22.
Champ Bailey episode.
Oh, 24? Oh, yeah, that last 23.
Last one was...
Yeah, so going back, you were saying that there are some rappers that frustrate you.
Yes.
And I was like, well, somebody else is frustrating everybody last night, and that is Danny Green. He could have ended the finals last night.
He is retiring from basketball, and he is going to work as a mason because he's just throwing up bricks all day. All day.
Wow.
All right, look, so it came down to the end. Miami was dominating, at least, not dominating, but they had a good lead, a sizable lead at some point. But LA was never out of the game, right? And then there at the end where it was really like edge of your seat type shit. Look, Danny had a perfect look. He did. But sometimes the ball just doesn't go in. And I'm sorry. If I'm looking at that team, I know everybody on Twitter right now is kind of harping on LeBron.
No, Markieff Morris.
Markieff Morris is the play that I have no understanding about.
I was like, Danny Green's right there.
But I'm saying if LeBron was open, like you had.
Yeah, but Danny Green's like short. He's like right there.
I don't know if he was passing LeBron. What was he doing on that throw?
Who? Markieff Morris?
Yeah, I don't.
He was trying to lob it into Anthony Davis, but Bam gave Anthony Davis a little nudge. And I mean, Anthony Davis is playing a little bit soft. Like, he's very gingerly. Like, I know you hurt his ankle. I saw you twisted.
Here's my biggest issue. And we can harp on Danny Green all day. He was 3 for 8 from the floor, which not bad.
But it wasn't a good shooting day for the Lakers, period.
Rajon Rondo, 1 for 7. Kyle Kuzma was 3 for fucking 10. And Markevius, I always want to say that, but that's Markevius Mingo, who was a Brown. Markieff Morris was 0 for 2 with 1 rebound in 23 fucking minutes on the floor. What are you doing? Nothing.
I think I saw a stat that passes from LeBron as far as setting up anything in the fourth quarter were like 0 for 7.
Dude, so as a team, they had like 14 assists. Like,
it don't matter. They had a shot to win the game at the end.
They had a shot. Look, at the end of it.
And Danny Green missed it. You got to live with it.
You live with it.
But you live with that, but they did not.
Turned it over. They still had a chance.
The Markieff Morris thing is a J.R. Smith level, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. It's not – Danny Green, sometimes the ball just doesn't go in. Like, it's just one of those things. Now,
I don't know.
Sometimes the ball just doesn't go in.
No, I'm talking about the Markieff Morris thing. I can't that was on him for that pass, right?
Yeah, of course.
At the same time, like, Anthony Davis has to be stronger in the post, like in the paint. He got nudged out so far. He got moved at least 2 to 3 feet.
Anthony Davis is also not 100%.
Significantly smaller than him.
I get it. You're on the – here's the thing. You're on the floor. You know how I feel about the whole injury thing. If you're on the floor, no excuse, right? But you can see ever since he went down, he was not himself the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But I think what everybody on Twitter is talking about today is whether or not Danny Green should have been the one to take that shot.
Exactly. Who should take LeBron. That shot? Thank you.
No, if Danny Green is open –
that's what I'm saying. That's what the Twitter thing is saying,
Twitter's
right?
only doing that shit because
Jordan would have taken a shot. Kobe would have taken a shot.
Well,
that's what they're comparing it to. Because there's no chance in the world Kobe or Mike ain't taking that shot. Nope.
We did see that they drew up a play for not Jordan to take the game-winning shot. It was who's the white guy?
Steve Kerr.
Yeah, Steve Kerr. Took the final shot in the game.
Yeah, Danny Green could have had his Steve Kerr moment, right? Like, but it's. Sometimes the ball just doesn't go in. Like, you live with that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are looking for this blame thing when it comes to LA.
Yeah.
Where I'm looking at it, and the takeaway that I have out of this game is Jimmy Butler's
a baller.
Hold on. How long have we been saying on this podcast Jimmy Butler's my favorite guy?
Here's the thing.
It's still Dame for me.
I feel like
James my second, but
I fuck with Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy
100%.
is the fucking man. I mean, you talking about put a team on your back in the end of that fucking game. The dude played 47 minutes. Another triple-double. Dude, I don't know. Like, here's the thing. I don't think any human being is capable of doing this 2 more games.
Do you love him?
I love Jimmy Butler.
No, like love him.
Yes.
I'd make sweet, passionate love to that sweaty man laughter. If Jimmy, after that game, said, did you see him after the press conference, like, gingerly walking off the stage? If he
said he was exhausted.
Yeah. He said, Kadeen, I see you, and I need a foot rub tonight. Yes, sir. I got you. I got you covered. Like, okay. I'm comfortable enough with my sexuality and my gayness to know that I would do something like that. But
all right.
Jimmy is just – you want to – like, I'm going into the series saying that, like, for my love of basketball, it's important to me that Miami pulls this thing out. Just because I want to see – the end of the big 2 or big 3 bullshit and just good, productive basketball. And I think we started seeing that with Toronto, and I think history is going to look at Toronto a little bit differently depending on what happens with Kawhi going forward. Because right now, if the sample size is LA after that, then Kawhi doesn't look like he's one of those big 1s or big 2s or big 3s. He just looks like more of the system compared to, like, exactly what it is he had in San Antonio. So it seems like Kawhi might just be more of a very integral piece of a solid team, which is where I'm looking at Jimmy's kind of being there. And Jimmy had the opportunity to go anywhere he wanted to last offseason, and he made the decision to go to Miami. I have nothing but respect for Eric Spoelstra. I have nothing but respect for that entire squad. Tyler Hero, I've never seen a more grown 20-year-old in my life fucking playing this goddamn game.
Yeah.
LeBron didn't have ice cold veins like Tyler does at this point. I don't think in his career when LeBron was coming up. But also,
LeBron was the leader of the team when he was coming up.
There was nobody there.
I know. Tyler Hero was like what, third, fourth fiddle?
Who was?
He's definitely second fiddle.
So at 20 years old, LeBron, did he even have Ilgauskas at that point?
Duncan had a better game.
Who?
Duncan Robinson.
No, but I'm saying for the finals, like Tyler Hero has blossomed.
Yeah.
He's the name. But Jimmy, I'm assuming that if there's a Kawhi Leonard as opposed to Jimmy Butler there, we're not having the same conversation.
Here's my
at
point.
all.
At all.
Give me one thing. Give me Jimmy Butler over Kawhi Leonard. I'm putting that out there
all day.
No,
he's a better leader.
I'm putting it out there.
He's a much better leader, and that's why you see this team that.
I don't think Jimmy's been given the opportunity.
Yeah, on paper, this team doesn't look very good. But the product that they're putting out, I think, is a testament to
what do you mean on paper this team doesn't look very good?
Awesome coaching. At the beginning of the season, if you looked at that team, you'd be like, no way.
No, that's a fact. Nobody was looking at
the finals.
Yeah, nobody thought they were a finals team.
Yeah, but this isn't a normal year. The fuck?
Hold on, but what he's saying is that as far as the talent on that roster, when you're comparing to almost any other squad in the East or the West, you wouldn't have said on paper that this team would have been one contending for a championship at all. And regardless of the scenarios as far as bubbles and non-bubbles or whatever, you wouldn't have picked a scenario in which you would have said, because right now, if you were to look, like Bam has come into his own. Basketball lovers know Bam, but nobody was really looking at Bam as somebody who was going to be one of those top flight guys coming into this season.
I've been trying to convince Mark Cuban to trade for Bam for the past year.
How's that been going? You sending a fan mail? Like, it's just
tweets. It hasn't worked.
No, I can see.
Yeah, no.
Dude,
but I love what they're doing.
Like,
get a serious drug habit and wander around Austin. He'll come pick you up. You can talk then.
Shit. But that's
you're a dickhead.
I know.
Mark Cuban's doing some great shit.
I love Mark.
Shout out to Delonte West, who looks like he's doing better. That's all.
Yo, he looked like mad healthier.
Yeah.
Already.
Look, I can see right now, just because of the aura and what the team is, the same way in the NFL, you're always going to have like this slight skewed perspective when it comes to like the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. In basketball, it's the Lakers. And not even the Celtics are on that level. It's just the Lakers. So right now, everybody's looking for that.
Celtics.
It used to be the Celtics, but everybody's looking for that Lakers storyline coming out.
It's and it's baseball. It's the Yankees. Same thing.
It used to be the Yankees.
Are you going to jail?
Joys of being in D.C. Plus, it's hot as fucking balls in this apartment.
To be honest, I thought it was Ryan the whole time.
No, it's hot as balls in this apartment because they're switching from air to heat. So we got the door open.
85 degrees.
Like, I'm sweating. I'm just glad it's not showing up on cameras, Bat. Like, it's just, I feel like shit
Your
right
skin
now.
is glistening.
But like I was saying, everybody's looking at that Laker aspect out of it because everybody needs to do the LeBron storyline when it comes to Jordan, and then with Kobe, especially them wearing the Black Mamba jerseys yesterday. Everybody's got to figure out how the Lakers blow this thing.
That's the story that sells. It's not how good the Heat are. It's what happened with the Lakers.
Pissing me off.
Yeah, that shit.
We should only be talking about Jimmy Butler today. Only be talking about Jimmy Butler today.
No.
What?
Yeah, 35-point triple-double.
All right, you acting like LeBron wasn't there.
He wasn't.
I'm just saying, we know what LeBron get. LeBron's stats speak for themselves. Since 2011, there's only one.
What did he do last night?
What, LeBron?
Yeah, what did he do last night?
Facilitated and had a good game. What was it?
What was his stats last night?
15 for 21.
How many points? How many rebounds? How many assists?
He had a double-double. 40 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists.
Okay, so you can mention LeBron for having 40 and 13. And 7 assists. And he should have had a triple-double, but his team missed all the shots. But you can lead with Jimmy Butler because he deserves it.
I get fair enough. What I'm saying, that's kind of the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
LeBron, I know what I expect with LeBron James in the finals. Like from 2011 till now, there's only been one finals that he hasn't been in. Like
he was injured.
I am not taking anything away from LeBron. I will not root for the man anymore now that he's wearing that jersey. But there's nothing in the world. Yeah, it was last year. There's nothing in this world that takes away from the fact that LeBron is getting better with age, not because of the athleticism, but because of how smart a player he is. He's one of the best passers in the league.
Yep.
He facilitates on a level of which nobody else can really do at that size and at that age. His basketball IQ is off the fucking charts. I give the man tons of props. But here's the thing. This year and what I'm seeing right now with LeBron hasn't changed that for me. It's not a surprising thing.
Right.
I think that right now, to me, is the Jimmy Butler experience. It's having everybody else seeing what I've seen from the guy and being now that he has the opportunity to be that guy. When he was in Chicago, he's a dude that came off from nothing, rode the bench, came up, and they didn't really know what they had with him. He didn't even know what he had himself. He had confidence. When he goes to Minnesota, he was not the guy over Andrew Wiggins, which was a mistake. He was not the guy over Cat, which probably a mistake, as far as how it is they facilitate that team.
It was a mistake.
He goes to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, it's not his team. They have Joel Embiid. They have Ben Simmons. People talk about J.J. Redick more than they talk about Jimmy Butler. Not that he's a better player, but I'm saying as far as them talking about it. Jimmy Butler went somewhere and said, yo, y'all, I ain't going to team up with anybody. I'm going to go to a team with a bunch of young, hungry motherfuckers, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to will this team to being something. And that, to me, speaks volumes. That's why I can say that I pick him over Kawhi Leonard, because if you put Kawhi Leonard on that Miami team, he does not elevate that team on that level. I ain't saying pure basketball. I'm saying that there are other things as far as the intangibles that make you a more special player. And that, to me, is what Jimmy Butler does, is he elevates your squad, which is why there's a bunch of fans of Philadelphia still kicking themselves over the fact that he left. They hate the fact that he left. Every Sixers fan I know right now are fucking upset that he left because they said that team should have ran through him as far as the way that they are dynamic ran.
We already discussed the issues that Philly have. It's more than just losing Jimmy Butler.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying But here's what I put you at.
Okay.
If you put Jimmy Butler on that team and allow him – Philadelphia.
Okay.
If even without J.J. Redick and they lose the shooters that they had.
But that's what they did, remember?
But if you have Jimmy –
they were running through Jimmy.
I get it.
When they played
that's what I'm
against the
saying.
Raptors.
Jimmy and the Sixers, in my opinion, are where the Heat are right now in the finals if Jimmy's still on that team.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is that right now, if I'm looking at a guy who –
And they got to keep JJ.
If I'm putting him on my team, it's automatically going to make my team better if I understand what I have with him.
And they got to lose Brett Brown.
To me, it's Jimmy Butler ends up being one of the most valuable players in the league because of what he does for everybody else around him.
It's almost like the LeBron effect. You put him on a team and you put players around him that work with him, you're going to have a chance. That's straight up. You put Jimmy Butler on a team, you put some pieces around him, he will lift them up, and they will be very good as a result. Everybody's
had it. Everybody's had it. Whether or not you played sports before, or maybe you haven't been lucky enough to have it, or even in your job, you know that there's somebody that you have on that team that you have that when they're there, it almost forces you to be better. Like, you know that they're going to hold you accountable. They make your job easier by being right.
So good.
And you know that they're in the trenches right there with you. They're not doing anything that they're not asking anything of you that they're not doing themselves. Jimmy, to me, is that guy. Like, LeBron is that guy too. That's what I'm saying, is that Jimmy's cut from that cloth. He's not just a freak talent or athletic.
All right. Let me switch this up because, I saw some NBA athletes that currently playing discussing Jimmy Butler, and one of the things that they said was the fact that Jimmy Butler does the things that glue guys, like the guys that are on the team, not necessarily for their talent, but for what they bring to the team. He does that willingly, right?
Right.
That's the big difference. So, I know we want to heap praise on him because he deserves it in this moment, because he's been doing these things forever, but people just haven't been talking about him. But we kind of gotta take some time and temper our don't go overboard.
But here's the thing. Even last week and the week before, I was telling you guys.
Don't say it's a LeBron effect.
Oh, wait. Whoa. I'm saying the LeBron effect in the sense of elevating.
You didn't say it, Ryan did.
All right, but the LeBron effect in the sense of elevating everybody's game or play around you. because of what you're asking people
That's
to do.
just what a great player does.
That's just a great leader and a great player.
Yeah,
That's
just say he's a great player.
But see, that's
though.
but see, that's where you have some of the guys who are physically gifted that don't have that element yet. Giannis doesn't have that yet. Is Giannis more physically gifted than Jimmy Butler will ever be on this world, on this planet, in every sort of way? Absolutely. It's not even close.
You're just talking about his mentality.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is that mentality. LeBron has that. Jimmy has that. Kobe went back and forth with it. He was struggling with being that guy, and at moments he showed that. Look, there's nothing going to get around those years after Shaq left where he was just being a petulant asshole, not passing the ball when he needed to pass the ball, or doing what he didn't have that mentality.
He did it himself.
Yeah,
and it's shitting on everybody. It's not what he. But here's the thing. That's not what he. It ain't that thing.
It's not Kobe slander right now.
It's not Kobe, but it's Kevin Garnett. It's like those guys who just because of how
you like the people that are like dogs. I get you. Like when you call them, like when you say like they're like a dog, like that's Jimmy.
That's basketball, man. Like that is taking it to the core of basketball. Like, I know you've been on that street court. I know you've seen what happens when you got dudes with talent. Like, that's basketball to me.
Wonder why I'm good at shooting threes. Because, nigga, I'm not going in the paint.
Oh, see, that was my thing. I was just an enforcer. I was a short fucking enforcer. My thing is I ain't making no baskets, but ain't nobody dunking against this fucking team because I'm going to put you through a fucking wall. That was my job, okay? I will tackle you.
I play the people that'll jump over you.
I am Shaq. No, I am Shaq.
Before the game, I was like, look, listen, we can hoop. Like, we're going to have fun. Just don't dunk on me.
I am Shaq. I am Shaq versus Kobe at that. I'm Shaq versus Kobe on that Christmas game, the first game that they split, where it was the motherfucker ain't getting in the paint without getting his fucking jaw broken. That's my mentality. You're a dog. You're a dog. That's what it is.
Yeah. So you like NBA players that are great, but like also have the street ball mentality.
Yeah, man, because the thing is, like, you see it, like, it's rare that I see the combination of both these things at the same time. Like, the team-first mentality, right? But then just a pack of dogs. So, like, you got San Antonio, but they never really had anybody with that dog mentality. They were just X's and O's, execution. And you have, like, a team that does that is, like, Portland, dogs. But they and what they do as far as just trying to work, kind of combine and get things done as a team, they're still not quite there. I just think that's a coaching thing.
But who? I think it's Dame and CJ. Like, other than that, who else?
See, that's the thing is that with Dame and with CJ, you can see auras of what it is that they have that team kind of having that mentality at times. Mm-hmm. I just think they don't have necessarily the X's and O's like you have an Eric Spoelstra can do in Miami. They don't necessarily have that in Portland right now.
I mean, Terry Slots won.
He ain't on that level yet.
Okay, like but you're talking about like the top echelon of a coach.
It has to be, but that's the thing is like what I'm talking. We are talking about the top echelon. Like they're playing for finals right now. You have to be talking about the top echelon. It ain't easy to get there, and when you're there, you have to look at why you're there. So like that is when I look at that team. I'm like, okay.
I would like for you to tell me who like you consider the top echelon of coaches then in the NBA.
All right, give me next week and I'll come up with a list. I'll rank them. I'll power rank them.
All right.
Yeah, like all 30.
I can power rank all 30.
Yeah. All right, bet. All right. So earlier we were talking about Danny Green, his shot, and Ryan, you said that was like a J.R. Smith moment, right?
I mean, it was. I think we're looking at that too much. I think it was more of a comedy of errors there.
Yeah. I mean, like
I said that Markieff Morris. I said Markieff Morris was a J.R. Smith moment.
Yeah. That. But I mean, it was that like.
It was because it was so bad.
But like along with the fact that Anthony Davis got pushed so far out.
Yeah, it was like, the combination of everything that happened in those 25 seconds.
Yeah, it was just bad.
To me, you can see the mental lapse, even if it's a moment. Mm-hmm. Maybe physically it puts you in that moment, but it's a mental lapse. Once again, my favorite basketball player of all time is Chris Webber.
We're not going back to it, though.
Everybody remembers Chris Webber's fucking mental moment.
Back to it, though. Okay. We're going to talk about another mental moment.
Go on.
That happened Thursday night when the Bucks played the Bears. And Thomas Eugene Brady. What is a fourth down? I missed that whole thing. I just woke up into everyone's like, did he know it was fourth down? What did he do? Because I still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. So
I saw it live, and I was like, wait, why isn't he walking off the field? It was a mental lapse.
I think he thought it was third down.
He thought it was third down, and then he looked at the ref and was like, and they were like, no, it's a turnover on downs, bud.
Which is not something Tom Brady. That was what I understand.
Oh, I thought it was something crazy like he spiked it on fourth down.
No, so
he
threw like no, but here's the thing.
He threw something that he wouldn't have thrown if he knew it was fourth down.
He threw a chunk yard pass thinking it was third down, and if he had known it was fourth down, he'd probably try to throw for a first down. He wouldn't have dumped it off.
He pulled a Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah,
he didn't know that.
Fourth and what?
Like 7, I think.
And then he threw like how many yards?
He threw like a 4-yard dump pass that didn't have a chance of getting to a first down. And after that, everybody's going off the field, and he looked confused and looked over the sidelines and was like, isn't it fourth down? And then he was like, oh, shit, that was fourth down.
The only thing I saw from that game was the fact that Khalil Mack is still amazing.
And then
did you see that sack? And then he
threw a grown man out of the way.
He's been doing that since he was a rookie, though.
But the thing that was so special was the size mismatch. Like, he's smaller than the dude.
No, his arms are bigger.
His arms are bigger than the guy. But I'm saying, there was a height differential. You can see, like, weight-wise. No, it's –
oh, my God.
Khalil Mack is that's why Chicago was my Super Bowl pick last year, was that what Khalil Mack does on defense.
You can't have them.
You have Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, JJ's not there anymore. I think it's just those two. As far as defenders,
Chris Jones is pretty.
Chris Jones is good, but I ain't putting him there yet. As far as just dudes on defense that can absolutely take over a game. Like, I call it the LT effect. It's as far as the most dominating defensive player in the history of the NFL is Lawrence Taylor. When he was on defense, you knew nothing was ever safe. Because if you're down by 4 points in the fourth quarter, you can't just run it out and just think you're going to get there when you got LT might back that ball out of your hands. Like, it was he could change the game.
I'm trying to think of the biggest defensive play moments like so far this year. And the two I remember is Aaron Donald against the Cowboys, where he just like bull rushed 2 people and like just threw them out the way.
I am not looking forward to seeing him tomorrow.
Yeah, and then Khalil Mack, like taking that rookie left tackle, Tristan Wirfs, I think that's his name.
He forgot his name.
He's gonna be a little worse for wear after that shit, dude.
That's too bad.
I think
you got one more.
I think J.J. Watt has a little bit of that, but not to the same like.
J.J. Watt was there. I mean, if we're looking at defenders over time, like J.J. Watt had it.
But right now, it's just Aaron Donald.
But when you see those guys every once in a while, what Albert Hainsworth had it for moments. He wanted to get paid. That was what
brought up his name. I did.
I'm bringing up his name because that's why we signed him in free agency. Was that year in Tennessee where he wanted to get paid so he could sleep with white women and buy a bunch of cars.
But it was. You remember the whole thing coming out about him from Tennessee that year?
Yeah, the motherfucker's a psychopath.
Yeah, like, and then you still gave him $100.
We gave him $100 million because if you can just wrangle the psychopath just a little bit. LT was LT.
That was us with AB.
Lawrence Taylor was a fucking psycho. He was high on coke every game, just doing crazy shit. Okay,
100.
Like it was. So you tell. So I'm saying is that if you just tell this guy like it's basically treating Bobby Boucher from The Water Boy. All right, it's like just run that way, tackle that guy. We don't care what happens afterward. Oh, you stomped on a guy's head. All right, well, we got enough. You held us to a certain point. Hey, if you're going to stomp on somebody's head, just wait until the fourth quarter. And just wait until the fourth.
That was kind of like –
Can you get me the ball, Bobby?
And Ndamukong Suh had it for a moment. Whoa. He was a scary motherfucker on defense.
Yeah.
Like,
is he still in the league? He is, right? Is he on Tampa?
Yeah.
So, like, there's certain guys that get in that bag for a little bit. Like, you got it's usually a lot of linebackers. Clay Matthews had a 4-stroke moment. Ray Lewis had it for longer.
Dallas had
Edry, Brian Dawkins.
Polamalu
was just a monster.
Who was that guy that kept getting kept getting injured for Dallas?
Hold on.
The guy Van Der Esch to play.
On who? I said Charles and Rod. Which one were you like?
Both, honestly. I think they were both great, and I think their careers are amazing. Charles Woodson probably, I think, had it more than Rod, just because of Charles Woodson's ability to run it back.
I mean, wait, we gotta say Dion.
Dion, yeah, this goes without saying. Dion's there.
On the other side, but whatever.
We're not talking about. We're just talking about defense, because it's
I
hard on defense because you don't have the ball in your hands. It's you're getting offense on defense. Like, you got a guy that can force a turnover. It's hard. I don't give it to a lot of cornerbacks, because especially the cornerback aspect of it is that when you had Darrelle Revis, so you have a Champ Bailey in their prime. That's why Dion's a different kind of breed. Darrelle Revis, they just didn't throw on that side of the field, so it wasn't like he was a playmaker that in the fourth quarter was going to win you a game. But what he did do was make the rest of the defense a lot easier. So that's why when you look at like Champ Bailey's one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time. I don't like him, but he's one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time.
Why do you hate Champ?
Because of what he said about Washington after he left. That he was just like, F those Bamas, like this, that, and whatever. He kept talking shit about the Clinton Portis trade, and Clinton Portis is near and dear to my heart. So whatever. I'm biased as fuck.
I love that Clinton Portis
as long as you said that.
He drove around in donks all fucking day.
Was Champ Bailey's career better than Clinton Portis's? Yes. So what Champ did.
Champ is in the Hall of Fame. Right?
But here's the thing: Champ never had big interception numbers because you didn't throw us on the side of the field.
Yeah. And I love their his and his brother's name.
Oh,
Champ and Boss.
Also,
that's actually pretty cool.
They're trying too hard.
We're forgetting about Ray Lewis, but that goes without saying.
I said Ray.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, and Ed and Troy. So I have another important question. What the hell did Ian Rapoport do?
I would also like to know what he did.
So what Ian Rapoport apparently did, because he's been suspended from the NFL Network until October 22nd, which is a huge fucking penalty, is so what was funny last night was that Ian Rapoport has 2-point-something million followers on Twitter, and we're all trying to figure out, after he posts this image of him saying that he was sorry for what he posted, he was sorry for what he did. Everybody's scouring his pages trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Most people thought it had something to do with what he said about the Tennessee Titans and the what happened with the whole practice thing and everything, but it wasn't that. Apparently, what Ian Rapoport did was retweeted an advertisement for Manscaped.
Oh, I saw that.
He retweeted something for Manscaped, and that was enough because of the advertising aspect of things. That because he didn't get that cleared with the NFL Network, they suspended him.
Oh, I saw that. Oh,
yeah, okay. It's stupid as shit. Once again, the NFL showing you that you'll get a bigger suspension if you do something as far as their advertising compared to beat your wife in an elevator. Just
or you have practices.
Yeah, or if you're the Titans, which they still have done nothing.
Or you infect half the league with COVID.
Yeah,
I want Darren Waller trading drugs for COVID. Like, if you could do those things but not get in trouble like Ian Rapoport did, because once again, the NFL cares about one thing above all else: money.
And like Ian Rapoport, by all accounts, is a stand-up guy. He probably didn't do it on purpose or knowingly do something against this contract. Like, slap on the wrist, move on. Not take one of the best reporters from your game and put him on the sidelines for 2 weeks in the middle of the fucking season.
That's what, like, if that's the full story, I'm flabbergasted on how stupid they are. I'm hoping there's something more to it.
Yeah, he dropped the N-bomb or something.
I'm hoping it's not that, but I'm hoping
that would be a more fair punishment for that.
I don't know. If he dropped the N-bomb, I'd expect him to be completely done with the NFL Network.
Or he accidentally said the old Washington football team name. They got suspended.
No, because half of ESPN does that every Sunday.
Every single game, that somebody says it.
Like it's more of a what's baseball? What Tom Brenneman? When he went off and said what he said during the I'm expecting that, like, if it was on that level. Yeah. My only thing with Ian is that I'm guessing that Manscaped might have been paying him a significant amount of money, maybe under the table, and this is what it was, as far as, like, maybe the NFL Network didn't even see the contract that he had signed with those guys, which then makes it a bigger issue as far as what it is they're doing just from a contract standpoint. Like, I can see the NFL Network or ESPN or any one of these places where if they have their person and their brands, they don't want to see that being hurt by anybody, which is what happens. I mean, even if you look at a lot of what's happened with the Black Lives Matter stuff, it's either that the players are going to revolt and not play, or you have advertisers going to pull dollars. That's how you get change in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bizarre story. I'm sure we'll find out more before the next cast.
But you guys were already talking about the Titans, but you stopped.
Fuck.
So what do you think should happen to them?
I still don't know everything as far as those stories that are coming out about Tennessee and what to believe and what not to believe. Because it's like I've heard about the practices that they were having even when they knew that somebody had tested positive for COVID. If that's true, then I'd like to see the stiffest penalties probably ever casted out in the NFL's history. I'm that adamant about it. What
would that be though?
Well, that's a hard thing to try to figure out. Is that I think we're in uncharted territory. So like I don't.
Forfeit.
Well, there's a forfeit of the games. I was talking to my friend the other day as far as if you forfeit the games, do the teams that they forfeit against get wins?
Yeah.
See, a lot of people have an issue with that. I don't necessarily have an issue with that in the sense of just from a competitive advantage. You get a guy that get a win compared to you got other teams who be like, well, fuck it. Well, another team get COVID.
Look at the Steelers. Like the Steelers have an issue, the fact that now they got to play 13 straight weeks because of the fact that the Titans did whatever they did.
I agree. I think that the forfeit of the games is probably the best option, and I think that needs to be
only if they violated something.
If they went that far. But yeah,
right.
I'm going as far as saying that I'd like if Tennessee, if we know from an organizational standpoint that there were enough players involved and there were enough coaches involved, I'm willing to say that they have forfeited their right to play this year.
That I would do that, and then I think the real people to blame are probably not just
not
the
whole
players.
year.
That's what I'm saying is that I'm taking it far.
Draft picks, huge fine to the organization as a whole, and then if it turns out that it was super egregious, they don't get to play the rest of the year.
I don't need this to me, this is more egregious than Spygate, Bountygate, any of that shit. So I
risks people's lives.
That's my thought is that like we're gone through that. Like if it's up to me, there are talks about Tennessee losing their fucking franchise. Like, does Austin, Texas need a football team? I'm that hard pressed about it. And I even say that knowing that I still think that the NFL is dead wrong for even bringing the season back. I know what I'm saying. I just if it was known organizationally that this was the case, if you had Mike Vrabel signed off on it, if you got the players to acknowledge that this is what happened and they signed off on it, if you got the Adams family still in charge of that team, Bud Adams, the ownership, if they all knew, I'd be willing to start saying that we need to remove them from the league.
If they remove them, they need to remove Dan too.
They need to what?
I say if they remove them, they need to remove Dan too, which I know you wouldn't have an issue with.
Dan Snyder?
Yeah.
I don't think that Dan Snyder's done anything as egregious as this. And I say that as a full-blown Dan Snyder hater. I haven't seen Dan Snyder risk the lives of the rest of the league in the middle of a pandemic. I've actually seen them do the exact opposite in Washington. Now, if you want to remove Dan Snyder for being a piece of shit, okay. I guess there's not really a litmus on being a bad owner in sports where you lose a team, so that's not something.
So
they still generate enough revenue.
Was the tape thing not real?
The tape thing was – all right, so that's still another thing that has completely disappeared off the waves of anybody talking about. Apparently, the Washington Post is about to release more stories, and now everybody's kind of forgotten about it. The tape thing still, even if you're talking about it, there's still a line as far as Dan's involvement. So there's still a –
all right, so if he was
there's plausible deniability.
If he was as involved and they have proof as what you're saying the Titans would be. Okay.
I'd remove him at that point, but I'd have the – but that – to remove an owner,
it's like the burden of proof.
To remove an owner, you have to have. I think is it unanimous? The rest of the league owners have to vote to oust you. I can't imagine being a league owner and saying, like, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers organization and they're like, now we have to play 13 games in a row because of your stupid shit.
Right.
I don't want you a part of this league anymore. I'd want a complete. It's a la what the NCAA does to teams that give the death sentence.
Yeah. Like you can't. You put my franchise in jeopardy because you didn't follow the protocols that we all agreed to put in place. Then how am I going to trust you next year or the year after that or any year moving forward? Got to go.
But the thing is, I know that won't happen because, once again, hate to get all political, but it is what it is. Half the country still doesn't. There's still a significant portion of the country that doesn't believe in COVID.
The Dolphins can be full of capacity now.
That's the thing, is that we're looking at a situation in which, because of how fucked up this country is from the top down, as far as the COVID response itself, there are a lot of people that are like, well, it's no big deal. I mean, you can look at guys like, there's some people that still aren't taking it seriously. John Gruden still can't fucking keep a mask on his goddamn face for a game. Like, there's still a lot.
It is John.
It is, but John's probably the most adamant as far as just being a jackass about it.
Well, I think, like, I like how Andy Reid has, like, the face shield. And I feel like that would make shit just more easier for John if he just wore the damn shield.
I mean, they just...
So,
look, my heart pumps purple piss for anybody talking about fucking wearing a mask when Ron Rivera started the second half having to sit down because his fucking cancer and his treatments of chemo are so bad. But guess what he didn't do? Take off his mask for anything other than drinking Gatorade or water. Other than that, he kept his mask
They
on.
said he has what, like 2 weeks left after this week?
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah, I think it's something.
I mean,
that.
So they do one round and then they see what happens and then they do another.
But the start of the second half, they had already talked to Jack Del Rio about your coaching the rest of the second half. Like, that was already a discussion that happened, and Ron said, "All right, I can go." And they sat him down for a portion, and then he got back up and was coaching. But it's just one of those things where I'm looking at and I'm like, look, if you're knowingly exposing people to COVID, if it was up to me, there's no laws in the books about this shit. If it was up to me, Donald Trump would be in prison right now, and that White House would be full of motherfuckers in prison because of them knowingly exposing people to this virus. If you're doing that, there is no hell in which there's nothing.
Isn't there something like that for, like, if you have, like, HIV or something and you knowingly go around and sleep with people?
100%. You can catch a fucking murder charge. Like, it's not
what's the difference?
Because you're talking about COVID and the opportunity of, like, what could happen in the sense of, like,
isn't it the same?
If I expose you, if I knowingly have COVID and I expose you to COVID right now, right, it's far from a death sentence to you. It's now, if I knowingly gave you COVID and let's say because of what, like, even if you got sick, you might not even know you got sick. So it's different from HIV, which unless you're on meds, you're fucked, right? Yeah. So it's one of those things where just because of the way the virus itself works is a little bit different. But if I knowingly gave you COVID and you gave it to your mom or your dad, I should be up on fucking charges. But right now, because of what they're talking about as far as the legal liability aspect of everything, it's all up in the air. Like, if you knowingly have the common cold or the flu and you're still out there and going to work, as you all have one of those people in the office that does that shit, the person is coughing in the goddamn cubicle and sneezing up a storm, and you're like, why don't you just go home? I don't want to use the sick days. Home. You see what I'm saying? So it's like.
Yeah.
I hate people.
All right. So moving on. Last thing I got for today is a question for you guys.
These are all been questions you posed to us, but okay.
Shut up. Do either of you want to change your picks for tomorrow? I'm giving you this opportunity.
I need to get the rundown of the picks.
Okay, I got you. Well, we all got the first one wrong because we all picked the Bucks.
I wanted to pick Chicago too. I love Chicago.
The Rams versus Washington football team.
Keep my Washington pick.
Okay, Ryan, you too?
I picked Washington, right?
Yep. Okay. Bills Titans. We all picked the Bills. Are we good on that?
It's a Tuesday night game.
Yeah. Eagles Steelers. We all picked the Steelers. We're all good on that one.
Good on that.
Okay. Colts, Cards, Jets. Kadeen, you picked the Jets.
Sticking with him. Joey Flacco, baby.
Why the fuck? Okay. Ryan, do you want to go to the Jets?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Y'all be kissing my ass next week when this happens.
Whatever.
I'm playing with the house's money right now, all right? I look like a goddamn.
Raiders, Chiefs. Y'all gonna stick with the Chiefs, I know. Jags.
Although,
Texans.
did you see there was a positive Chiefs player that popped up this morning when I was watching?
Oh, really? I knew the backup QB got it, but
I saw the Jets had a positive test. It was a false positive, but
yeah.
And it was also a practice squad player, I think. Anyway, continue.
So Jags, Texans. Kadeen, you picked the Jags.
And
yeah, I picked the Jags. That's what I'm on the fence about, but I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're either going to play better with Bill O'Brien. Like Romeo Crennel doesn't. He had a shot and he wasn't good. So,
Ryan, are you sure you want to stick with the Bengals?
Yes.
Who's the Bengals playing?
The Ravens.
Give me Joey B.
I don't think it's a terrible pick.
Okay. Do you want to go to the Bengals?
No.
Okay.
No, fuck no. Fuck no.
All right.
Y'all gonna be kissing my ass next
I already
week.
picked the Jets.
Falcons, Panthers.
Oh, who do I have? The Panthers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Do I have the Panthers too?
Yeah.
Is McCaffrey back?
No, next week.
And I think Le'Veon Bell's getting removed from the IR.
Are they playing in Atlanta or Carolina?
I think they're in Atlanta.
That's when I want to change what I want.
Yeah, I'm not gonna change any of my picks. I'm that.
I won't. There was one that I remember thinking about the other day, and that might have been the one.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it.
Like, there's no shame in changing.
I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay, fine.
There is shame.
Dolphins, Niners.
Niners.
Okay. Giants, Cowboys.
I definitely have the Cowgirls, right?
No.
I have the Giants.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I mean,
He was shocked by his own pick.
And then he's like, "Oh, what?
Wait,
okay,
but
fine. I'll keep it.
I remember my rationale is that the Cowboys defense is so bad that just maybe, Daniel Jones can throw a touchdown. Just maybe.
You acting like the Cowboys aren't going to score a shit ton of points against the Giants.
Yeah, but they also give up, like, they lost to the Browns.
Name a receiver on the Giants right now. Yeah. Okay. Next.
I've talked about the receivers on the Giants multiple times because I think Daniel Jones actually has talent around him. I actually don't think, because of how shitty the NFC East is, I think that could happen.
No. Colts, Browns.
I had the Browns.
No, you had the Colts.
Who do I have?
Is Phillip Rivers hurt?
Colts. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, let's go Phillip Rivers. I think he's having a monster season.
Yeah, I can't see the Browns. I can't see the Browns.
They're 3-1.
Yeah.
Oh, the Browns could easily win that game. They got to be favored in that game.
4-1. Wait, I don't know what they were.
This is week 5, so.
All right, 3-1. All right. Broncos, Patriots. You both picked the Broncos. I don't know why.
Well, here's the thing. It's all dependent on whether or not Cam gets cleared to play, and we should be able to find that out soon. But until that, I don't
think Cam's playing.
I don't think
Cam could still get cleared to play.
If they have Stidham back there,
and it is Stidham is starting.
He's throwing picks.
Yeah, because at first it was Hoyer, and then they benched Hoyer and then put in Stidham.
Yeah, Stidham right now is in line to start, but there is a chance that Cam comes back. So my pick is dependent on whether or not Cam Newton comes back.
This is the last time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with it. I'm rolling with Rippin, baby. Mark Rippin's little nephew.
Vikings, Seahawks then. Vikings, Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Okay. Chargers, Saints.
Saints.
I had Saints, no?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right.
That was fun. Final thoughts? Anybody?
I had one. Oh, yeah. Yesterday news broke that I broke a week ago. And it's the best news. It's the greatest news. As I had expected, Braden Holtby for the Washington Capitals is now a Vancouver Canuck, which is great. He got his 2 years, $8.5 million. And the Washington Capitals brought in the King, Henrik Lundqvist, from the Rangers on a 1-year deal to play backup to Ilya Samsonov. We got a veteran backup goaltender that can teach Ilya a whole ton of stuff. And also, he's not in New York anymore to piss me off in the playoffs. So this is great. This is great. So that was something I expected, and just happy that it finally is confirmed.
All right, Kadeem, what about you?
You want to go next?
Oh shit, you're right. Well, I'll be forgetting, bro. All right, I'll say this.
Every episode. It's only been 3 days.
You start yelling into the microphone, and then James comes up. So I want to talk about the WNBA for a second.
Yeah. Like something chill. But this week, my final thought is F1, don't you dare build a fucking track in Rio. Don't cut down fucking trees right now. It's not the time. It never is. Don't do it.
But a track in Rio would be pretty dope.
Hey guys, I always wanted to go to Rio.
I've been to Rio once. I've been to Rio once, and I stayed in the
No.
hotel the entire time.
If they had to cut down trees to do it, no.
You gotta cut down trees to do anything.
Yeah.
No,
I
you don't.
gotta cut down trees, get this.
Yeah. How much paper are you using? Huh?
All right, listen here, bitch. Don't be trying to say like shit like this, and then right after, COVID's still real. Like, where you're fucking like.
Are you
come on.
mocking me?
Yes, I'm mocking you.
I'm not talking about COVID in my final thought. Thank you very much.
All right.
Also,
You're good.
you know what I
I'm talking
hate?
about a book I read.
You know what I hate?
Fair enough.
I really hate people that put in their emails, please think before you print this off. Save the trees. Bitch, I didn't even read your email. I'm definitely not printing it off. Like, you can go fuck yourself.
Isn't apparently all the microchips and shit they put in computers even far worse as far as from a renewable standpoint compared to the trees?
I think you can't, there's the recycling element of those chips where you can recycle the valuable minerals, but I think that the processes by which they make them put a lot of shit up in the air. So also,
Right.
it all comes from China, and they're like 80% of pollution. So
Get in your go.
All right, so I read this book. Kidding. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck the administration. Mike Pence is a bitch. He's hiding out right now, canceled everything he had. He's back up here up the street at the Naval Observatory. Probably sick of COVID. Pink eye having bitch with flies landing on his head. Like, I'm just saying, right now, the White House held a goddamn rally at the White House today where Trump is standing on a fucking balcony like fucking Mussolini, talking down, or Evita Peron, pick one, speaking down to fucking people. He's just spraying COVID out. Then you know how long that motherfucker likes to talk. He kept it to 18 minutes, which means he's sick as shit, all right? I don't understand how we're in any sort of realm of believing anything that comes out of that goddamn White House. The only thing I do believe is that he actually had a meeting today contemplating his resignment and having whether or not Mike Pence can pardon his ass when the district attorney up in New York starts fucking ramming some shit up that fucking asshole. So I'm just saying, wear your goddamn mask, don't trust anything coming from the White House, and call your goddamn senators and representatives and make sure they pass a goddamn stimulus bill. Because that fucking Mitch McConnell, that turtle-looking bitch, is fucking everything up right now. People are losing their homes. People are losing their apartments. People are losing their cars. They can't fucking eat. There are still people that haven't even gotten their fucking unemployment money. We've got $1,200 6 goddamn months ago that is supposed to take care of us throughout all of this shit, and they're going to play politics on this fucking bullshit.
Dude,
Stow this through to take away your health care in the middle of a fucking pandemic in which they're not doing any planning for. Save your goddamn selves. Also, on Monday in Texas, they're holding a big movement to get people to make phone calls to try to turn Texas blue. I'm volunteering. I hope everybody volunteers to try to get this fucking state where it needs to be. Beto O'Rourke, I'm rooting for you, even though you fucked up every chance you have politically by telling people you're going to take your guns away. But I'm rocking with you, buddy. And we're going to turn Texas blue, and we're going to do what we need to do to knock all these sons of bitch backs into the caves in which they dwell. Oh, also, fucking
Jesus.
the militia, which is not a militia, the domestic terrorists up in fucking Michigan that tried to goddamn kidnap the governor. All because the fucking dog whistling, bullhorn having orange bitch with a goddamn raccoon on his head keeps reaching out to these goddamn white supremacists and are having them do some crazy shit. Arm yourselves for fucking after election day when he's in that lame duck goddamn period and he's ready to nuke the entire fucking world because he doesn't give a fuck about you. I'm done.
Ryan, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I had some. Oh, is Beto O'Rourke gonna make all his phone calls while skateboarding down the sidewalk, drinking cranberry
Social
spray?
spray?
I fucking hate Beto. Not that he's a bad guy. He just irritates me. Everything he does.
You can sign up to call at the same time like Bernie Sanders is calling people.
No,
and Sue's calling people.
I'm working on Monday.
This is more important. No, I'm checking. Here you are.
Also, people are just gonna be calling me all day on Monday, pissing me off. Is that a Yingling? Ooh, I could go.
Yeah, Yingling tall boy.
Oh shit! I actually gotta go work on my car. That's what I was gonna do.
Alrighty, guys.
All right, guys. Good pod. Suck dicks. Suck
Death Star
farts.
go boom.
Boom.
Good luck against the Rams.
Later, guys.
That part's not making it.
Yeah, it is.